Grandmother Robin Youngblood is the executive director of the Church of the Earth and member of the spiritual wing of World United. So I would like to thank you with lots of love and honor, Grandmother Robin Youngblood.
Thank you so much. I loved what I could hear of your meditation. I was having some problems with my technology here, but I've got it now. So welcome, everybody. I can't see who all is on here, but it looks like there's a number of us, huh? Oh, that's wonderful. So today, what I wanted to share a little bit about is many Indigenous prophecies, which say that we are the ones we've been waiting for. There's nobody else out there that's going to fix any of this. It's us, okay? Now, for many, many, many years, we were looking for somebody else to solve things for us, whether it was our parents, a guru, a teacher, whatever. But now we're beginning to understand that it's in us. It's already here. Every answer we ever needed is right here. Yeah. And when we begin to understand that, it helps us to understand also that everybody has a different perspective. As a Native American woman, I work a lot with the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is also called the circle of life. The Buddhists use it in their mandalas, etc. And so do many other cultures around the world. When we look at the circle, something just came up on my screen there. When we look at the circle, we realize that there are an infinite number of spokes that can go toward the center. Wherever we're sitting on the wheel, our neighbor, our enemy, our best friend, they're all going to be sitting on the wheel too, but they're going to be in a little different position than we are. Because they're in a little different position, they're going to see things a little bit differently. Yeah. And of course, if they're completely opposite of us on the wheel of life, they're going to have a completely different perspective. In our way, the teaching is that until we've heard all the perspectives on the wheel of life, I mean, really heard, okay? Not just had an answer ready at the moment that they start to speak, when we don't even know what the question is, yeah? When we really listen, we gain valuable information. When we listen without judgment, but with curiosity instead, oh, what are they telling me? What is the actual need behind what they're saying? And how do we meet that need? When we learn how to help each other meet our needs, not that any of us are responsible for somebody else's needs, okay? We're not. What we are responsible for is helping to identify what the needs are and how we as a society, a culture, a community, a best friend, an enemy, can help that other person to meet their own needs. Yeah. And sometimes if we have the ability to, whether it's financial, spiritual, emotional, we can not only help them meet their needs, but we can do this as community. We've all heard the saying, we are one. Well, how can we be one when there are thousands and millions of different perspectives out there? We can be one because we are the same human family. if we look at our own families, we'll see that there are many different perspectives between brothers and sisters and mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and whoever's around, including all those ancestors out there, right? And yet somehow most families survive because they love. Love is the source. And we all have that source within us. Even if we're somebody who's terribly hurt and hates the world, we may have blocked it, but the source of love still lives inside us. I work in shamanic realms, and one of the things that I often do with people is help them find lost soul pieces. Parts of ourselves that have been traumatized to the point where they've said, that's it, I am out of here. Parts of even our ancestral lineage that have gotten lost over the centuries due to trauma and need our help to come back into our DNA so that we can be fully present as who we are. Okay. I've been doing a lot of ancestral healing work lately. What I've come to understand is that there isn't a single person on the face of the planet who does not have intergenerational trauma. Epigenetically, it goes back at least 7 generations. Okay, it may go back much further than that. When these things get implanted into our DNA, they are both the gifts that our ancestors sent down to us that are waiting to be activated, and the traumas that they've experienced and the, what do I want to say here? The reactions that they had that we often do, not even understanding why we do it. Yeah? How many of us have had an experience in our lives where we suddenly find ourselves reacting to something and we're saying to ourselves, why did I do that way? I know better than this, right? And then we beat ourselves up for it. It may not be ours at all. It may be something that came from another generation behind us and the things that they experienced. In 2014, I was in a horrendous mudslide. When I came out of the mud and water, I had all 4 primary PTSD responses in seconds. I went through fight. There was nothing I could fight. It was way bigger than me. I went through flight. I was caught in my house, trapped in the middle of mud and water coming in. If there wasn't somebody to rescue me, I was going to die. Okay. I went through freeze. Oh my gosh, what is this? I can't do anything about this. And I went into fold. I'm done. Right? And then the part of me that has worked through a lot of this started saying, wait a minute, those aren't the ways that we need to react. There are other options here. And I could look at those. Okay. And we were rescued, and everything in my life went on from there. For many families, they lost people. And because they lost people, they were in horrendous grief for a year. I ended up being the one who could speak for all of them at government meetings and all those kinds of things, because I knew enough to go through my own trauma. That doesn't mean I don't have CPSD. I still have it. And I am working that through at this point. Yeah. So we all go through these things. And as the woman before us said, there are multiple ways that we can ask the angelic realms and the spirit realms to help us. And they're very important. To be a human being means that we are also spiritual beings who are having all these experiences. And at the same time, we're being asked to create a better world, to co-create it. How can we do that if we're trapped in our old experiences? So we're always healing. In my opinion, if we're done, we're not here anymore. We don't need to be. This is a great big schoolroom. Yeah. So once we've learned all we need to learn, we can go on to the next life, whatever that may be for us. Whether it's a reincarnation here, some other life form, or we're going to whatever that source is. We don't get to know those things until we're actually there. But we have a lot of work to do here. And as we heal ourselves, in the medicine wheel, we also see a figure 8. 2 of them, actually. One goes north to south, and that's our connection with our ancestors, the healing that we need to do, the gifts that we are ready to activate. East to west, east is the place of new beginnings. West is the place of what we have to heal. So if we aren't doing our healing work, we're not going to be able to manifest that new thing that wants to emerge from us. And yet that new thing is so important right now. It is what's going to move us forward in a good and healthy way. So it behooves us to do our work. So many of us have been raised to believe in the negative. And so instead of taking the negative on, we've gone immediately to being, oh, I am the most powerful light being on earth. I am my own creator. There's something in the middle between that. It's the place of, I am a part of community. What I do affects everything and everyone else. And what everyone else does affects me. So in that middle ground is the place where we can co-create. We're taught in my culture that there are 3 levels of vision. The big level we call the eagle's vision. It's Kali's vision. The vision of all creation and all destruction. I don't know if you know this, but in many Indian nations now, there are children from the age of 9 up who are committing suicide pacts because they are in despair. They've gotten trapped on the negative side of that vision. Okay? They don't know how to get out of it. Well, they don't, because we've lost the ability to help our youth understand themselves. Okay? On the other side of that, there are all the folks who get trapped in, I'm only a light being. I will never let anything negative happen in my life. I simply won't see it. The spiritual bypassers. Yeah, we've all heard that term. Another term that I use sometimes at festivals and so forth is the airy fairy. They're delightful. They're wonderful. They're singers, they're musicians, they're dancers, they're precious. And they have no grounding. So they can't ever quite get anything done. Years and years ago, I went to Asia for the first time in Thailand, and I met many, many people who had been taught that they were here only to seek nirvana. From their heart center down, their chakras didn't work. There's an incredible amount of poverty. And as long as their lower chakras don't work, there's going to be an incredible amount of poverty. Okay? I ended up working with many of them to activate the lower chakras, the root chakra that grounds us, that brings us deeply into Mother Earth, the womb chakra, the creative center, where we not only birth children if we're women, but we also birth dreams, and that's all of us. The solar plexus chakra, the power chakra, where we claim ourselves as the beings we were meant to be. Yeah? And where we often lose ourselves because somebody tells us way early that we're not good enough, and we believe it. Yeah. When we activate those chakras, along with our heart chakra, which is where we give and receive so much, our throat chakra, where we speak our truth, no matter how hard it is for others to hear it, our third eye, where we can see what's happening out there, not just today, but yesterday and tomorrow as well. And our crown chakra, where we take in the energy of the divine and we receive the inspiration to be able to move effectively in whatever ways Spirit is asking us to move. We are aligned, Father Sky and Mother Earth. When we are aligned, we're grounded, we're effective, we're listening, we're able to move. Okay. So I would like to take you on a little journey. We probably just have time enough to do this. And help you to ascertain more of yourself. I started out talking about the 3 levels of vision, and I want to talk about that for just a minute before we go into this journey. I described the upper level, the ego vision. Now I'm going to go to the mouse vision. The mouse is us. It's who am I? Why am I here? What did I come to do? Oh, we're the ones we're waiting for. Well, what's that mean? I don't have anything to offer, right? I mean, how many of us think that? How many of us go half of our lives thinking, I don't know what my life purpose is, right? I'm going to give you a little secret for that. It's something that I only learned about 5 or 6 years ago in working with someone else. She was looking for, well, she'd actually been offered 2 very different jobs. And one of them was a barista, and she loved doing that because in the morning, when people came in all grumpy, she could sing them a little song or tell them a joke or dance a little bit. And pretty soon they were happy and joyful and ready to start their days. And she felt great about that. The other job was as an administrative assistant. And she thought that would be very good because it would be very practical. It would ground her. She could still be helping people. She couldn't make a decision. So Spirit asked me to ask her to share 4 or 5 of her passions, the things that she just couldn't not do. They just ring her chime so much she had to do them. She said one of them was to go bicycling with groups because she could always laugh and joke and sing songs with them, and it made everybody happy. Another one was going to festivals because she could dance and sing and play and be in her joyous self, and that made everybody else happy. She went on with a couple of other things that were very similar. So I asked her, okay, what's the common denominator among all those things? Put it in one sentence. Her sentence was, I'm here to help people be happy. I said, which job is most fulfilling to you then? She said, oh, the barista job. I said, you know what? I think you're already doing your life purpose, and you haven't been able to help doing your life purpose all your life. It's who you are. So I invite you to use that little formula, to write that one sentence and see how you've been doing it throughout your life. You're probably already doing your life purpose. Now then, there's the middle vision. The middle vision is, who are my co-creators? Okay, I know what I'm here for, and I have a dream about how I want to do that. Well, who are the other people that want to do that with me? The time of the lone wolf is over. So how are we going to do it together? Okay. We have this absolutely wonderful invention that was invented by the American military, and it escaped. And now we all use it. It's called the World Wide Web. Okay. They developed it for private military spying use, but it escaped. And now it's here for all of us. You think maybe spirit had something to do with that? I do. That's right, the World Wide Web of Wonder. I love it. So there's social media, all kinds of platforms. If you have a dream, something that you want to do to co-create a better world, put it on social media. I put a dream of mine out there a couple of years ago, and within less than an hour, I had 10 people who wanted to do the same thing. It was their dream too. So we all worked together to bring that into being. And it was effortless because we were all working together. Okay. Okay, so having given you all that information, when you're ready, I would ask you to just take 4 nice deep breaths. Get yourself nice and comfortable. Close your eyes. See the golden white light of Father Sun entering through your crown chakra, moving down through your body, through your neck, your arms, your shoulders, down through all your internal organs, especially to any place that feels cool or needs a little extra energy. Let it move down, 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 especially through your womb space if you're a guy, down through your legs, through your thighs, your knees, your calves, all the way down through your ankles and out to the tips of your toes. When it reaches the tips of your toes, I invite you to let it rush back up your body, filling every cell and molecule until it lands in your heart. And with another 4 nice deep breaths, allow the mossy green light of Mother Earth to enter through the chakras and the soles of your feet, Let it begin nourishing you, circling up through your legs, through your thighs, into your hips and belly, into your spine, and all up through your organs, up through your hands, your arms, your neck, up into your face and your mind, brushing especially through your ears, to open your ears to hear the words of spirit and your guides and helpers and ancestors, through your mind to clear away any worldly cares and to open it, to see what you need to see and hear what you need to hear. And then as it moves out through your hair, you may see little green sparkles. Those little green sparkles are your DNA activating so that your ancestors can show you what you need to know in this time and this place. And then, on another deep breath, let that mossy green light flow down to your heart to mix, mingle, dance with the golden white light of Father Sun until it becomes a pulsing emerald green. The balance of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine. And in that balance, know that you can always access that beautiful emerald green light within you. And then I would ask you to look at the base of your spine. At the base of your spine, there's a silver cord. It's usually planted deep in Mother Earth. I want you to take it in your left hand and hold it. It's your easy egress and ingress back into your body. Hold it throughout this journey. And then look to your right and find the guide, the helper, the spirit being, the angel, whoever is here to guide you on this journey. Some of you are seers, some of you hear, some of you feel, and some of you have to do. If you're a doer, just listen to this. If you're a feeler, sense it. If you hear, then ask who's there for you. If you see them, that's great too. Reach out and touch the one who is here to help guide you today. Together, we're going to walk out now, out to a beautiful meadow. And you'll see wildflowers blooming in the meadow. The sun is shining. There's a little babbling brook off to one side. And in the center of the meadow is a huge tree. Similar to the tree in Avatar, if you ever watched it. It is a world tree. The tree that is home to so many of us. I want you to walk out now and place your right hand on the tree and the left hand holding your silver cord. Place it on your heart. I want you, as you're touching the tree, to listen to its experience and its long life. Its roots growing deep into the earth, its branches raised to the heavens to receive, its trunk strong, sturdy, growing. The heart of the tree that slowly, slowly pumps its blood, the sap, around the tree. The creative center that keeps creating the rings of growth, keeps this tree living and growing and dreaming. As you feel the heartbeat of the tree, you can ask it about its dreaming and how its dreaming relates to your dreams. The dreams of how you serve Mother Earth and all our relatives. And I'm going to go silent now. I'll call you back when the time is ready. Just have your conversation with the tree, with the little grasses and the little mushrooms at its feet, with the birds that are nested in its branches. And just listen. All right. So now I want you to remove your hand from the tree, place it as well on your heart, and seal all the things that you have received from the tree into your heart. And when you're ready, you can take your hand away from your heart and follow the silver cord back, 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 through the meadow and the wildflowers, listening to the brook, feeling the sunshine warm on your head and your back, until you walk into your room and see your body and allow yourself to follow your silver cord, plant it in the earth, thank your guide, and allow yourself to melt back into your physical body. And when you are complete, you'll feel your fingers and toes wanting to wiggle and your eyes wanting to open. And we are here. The tree reminded me of something that one of my very early teachers, who happened to be my cousin, Fred Beaver Chief Jameson of the Lummi people, used to repeat often. He would say, dreams are like flowers. There's always room for another dream, another flower. Don't ever destroy anybody else's dream. Just bring it into your dream and make a bigger bouquet. So today I want to leave you with that thought. If you have questions, now's a good time. And I think we're off in about, what, Nisha? Probably 5 minutes. So it's open now for questions. If anybody has one, please raise your hand. Thank you, Maria. Any comments?
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm still trying to get back to my body. Because when you said the
Good.
cord, yeah, it's like I feel like something's missing in my back.
Okay.
Like the cord, the cord was
you-
like a piece of my back. Just so then I actually woke up before you said come back, and I'm still kind of understanding. I'm like, there is a
Okay.
little bit of me.
So I would suggest that you close your eyes again for a minute, look for the silver cord,
Okay.
and follow it back. Okay. Make sure that you plant it in the earth.
Okay.
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 And
Thank
if you want to turn the sound off while you do that, that's fine. Yeah. Anybody else? Comments or questions, suggestions?
For me, that silver cord, the first thing I saw was that it came from my tailbone, like if it was my tail, my ancestral tail, you know. And that's the first vision I got. And I thought, oh, this is okay. This is you. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you for such a beautiful sharing. I love your voice. I love your poise, you know, how it just really came like water, just nourishing me in many different levels, Thank you so much.
Good, thank you. Yes.
It was
And
kind
yes, go ahead.
of interesting for me when you said when I reached the field and you mentioned the field of wildflowers and mushrooms, and I'm actually wearing a shirt with mushrooms, so my field actually filled up with mushrooms with the tree of the memory and life. So it was like all like colorful mushrooms instead of the flowers and the petals. It was all good. I guess it was like invoking what I was wearing. I don't know. It was kind of interesting because I have this big shirt on. Mushroom on it. So it was kind of what it overtook my face. It was kind of interesting.
That's wonderful. And you know, mycelium mushrooms, they connect the trees. They're the trees.
They have their own kingdom.
Let's see, how do I want to say that? They're their communication system. Yeah.